Out of all the storylines that I enjoy sharing with you on this show, this one, today's episode, hands down, the most necrophilia.
It's all about the game, and how you play it, all about control, and if you can take it.
This takes place in 2002. Triple H is the heavyweight champion, and Kane is a tag team with a fellow by the name of the Hurricane, who is kind of just like a shitty superhero. Kane and the Hurricane, oh, I get it, why they did that now. So the two Kanes are the World Tag Team Champions, and they're defending their titles in a 4-way TLC match at Raw. But before the match, Triple H and his manager or mentor or I don't know, they were just like a young man and an old man being best friends, but nothing weird about it. They attack the Hurricane backstage. Kane goes out there solo, fights 3 other teams, and in a TLC match climbs the ladder and retains the tag team titles. As he's celebrating, out comes Triple H. Ric Flair by his side, dress pants on, no shirt, of course. He's got a secret, and he asks Kane, and this is where things start to go wrong. And he asks Kane if the name Katie Vick rings a bell. And then he claims that Kane is a murderer who murdered a young lady by the name of Katie Vick. So next week on Raw, Kane comes out. He's gonna tell his side of the story, right? He explains it. She was a cheerleader, and they were at a party, and she drank too much and asked him for a lift home, and then he said yes, even though he had been drinking without telling her, and they got into an accident, and he broke his arm and got injured, but she died, and he feels awful about it. Out comes Triple H, you know, the no-good scoundrel. He's gonna cause a ruckus now. He claims that he got his hands on the autopsy, and that Kane's semen was found in Katie Vick when she died. I know I've said this before, but this is professional wrestling. It's a show put on by athletes for kids. So as I was saying, Kane's semen was found in Katie Vick after she died. And then that episode's over. Next week, because they wait a full week, Triple H tells Kane that his semen's in a dead woman. Then they wait a week. They go about their lives. They go to Costco. They do what they need. Then, 1 week later, actually before next week on Raw, they had a match at a pay-per-view that Triple H won. And it didn't really matter. Triple H comes out, he and Ric Flair have possession of a tape that is going to ruin Kane's reputation. Triple H plays a tape of 10 years ago at Katie Vick's funeral, and Kane walks in. It's important to note that it's not Kane. This is all clearly Triple H dressed up as Kane, creating some sort of a false video. Triple H was just trying to sully the good name of Kane, the demon. By the way, Kane's character is Undertaker's like demented younger brother, right? We were told that he was the Undertaker's brother who had been locked in an insane asylum for the past 20 years, and yet here we are, he's fucking going to frat parties with a girlfriend. There's a body in the coffin, but it's clearly of like a dummy. And then Triple H, dressed as Kane, starts like fondling the dummy and like removing its bra and then taking off its panties. And then things escalate and Triple H gets undressed and he mounts Katie Vick. And then I was 14 watching this. And he has sex with the dead body. So Kane is none too pleased with this depiction of him. Later that night, they have a match against one another. It's a tag match, Triple H and Ric Flair against Kane and RVD. Kane beats up Triple H so bad and brings him to the parking lot and stuffs him in the trunk of a car, slams it shut, and then like kneels down and whispers into the car and says, "And now I'm gonna screw you." So we've already covered the necrophilia, the drunk driving, and the second-degree murder that resulted. Now we're heading into forcible rape. Fast forward 1 more week, Triple H comes out with a coffin. It's Katie Vick's coffin. Even though they clearly told us she died 10 years ago, it would be pretty fucked up if that coffin was just sitting around somewhere. And he's talking to it, and he's, Jeff Dunhaming the puppet of the dead Katie Vick girl. And then he gets interrupted by the Hurricane, who we know who got his ass kicked away at the beginning. The Hurricane plays a video of, quote, Triple H, although it's not Triple H, it's a man with Triple H, like, masks on, getting far too many objects removed from his ass. And he's lying on the table, and there's doctors behind a screen. So Triple H is furious. He cannot handle this sort of libel against him, and he takes it out on the dummy in the ring. He starts beating the crap out of the dummy and smacking her against the railings and stuff. Of course, Kane's got to run out to save his girl. They get put in a match for later that night, a casket match. Kane, Triple H, dead girl. Did he have sex with the dead body? Were they in love? All we know is drunk driving's bad. So Kane and Triple H have this match. Out comes Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels hits Triple H. Kane pushes Triple H into the coffin. They close the door. Shawn Michaels does a sexy dance on top of his grave. Kane wins the match, and then it's sort of just over. And they never speak of it again. And Triple H and Shawn Michaels start to feud. And Kane goes back to the tag team division. And they never really bring up the subject again. And thank God for that.